Hey guys, welcome to the Hacked Existence tutorial on building out the Hackberry CM5. So by the end of this video, we'll build this fresh one. I'll show you all the components that I got, all the upgrades I did. Basically, this is a handheld device that's based on the Raspberry Pi Compute Module 5. So this is a 2.4 gigahertz quad-core ARM CPU with 16 gigs of RAM. I got a 0.5 terabyte NVMe in here. It's touchscreen, 720 by 720. It's got built-in audio. It's got hardware LED indicators for battery life for the 5,000 milliamp hour battery, micro SD, HDMI. You got a button up here to blink and dim the screen to save battery life, a couple USB ports, USB-C charging. I went with the 9900 Blackberry keyboard model that's got the mouse built in, and this thing is awesome. This thing definitely replaces a bunch of the tools in my toolbox, and this is completely going to be an everyday carry for me. So let's jump into the bill of materials. All right, so here I've got the CM5 9900 model, and this comes with a nice little case, comes with the heat sink and everything you need. Out of the box, you can see it does not come with the CM5, so you have to pick up one of those. I went with the 16 gig model. If we're going to build it, let's do it right. And you're going to want to get the CM5 Lite. There's two versions of the CM5, so go with the CM5 Lite 16 gig model. To that, I'm going to add the 512 gig NVMe SSD from Kingspec, and we'll get it to boot off of this, so we're not even using the micro SD. This is optional, but drastically increases the performance, not to mention the storage capacity. I also picked up the external antenna for it, but I haven't used it yet because the CM5 doesn't do monitor mode. Despite saying it goes into monitor mode, nothing ever shows up, so I've got to mess around with the Nexmon patches. So I'm using an external Wi-Fi adapter right now, so really no need for the external antenna, but I went ahead and picked one up anyway. I got a couple USB-A to C adapters. The USB expansion port, this comes in handy. It adds 4 ports out of a single port, so you can plug it into the bottom here, add 4 more, and still have this one, so that's 5. I got the I2C expansion, but I haven't played around with any I2C stuff yet. Went ahead and picked up a GPS USB adapter. That's going to come in handy. And then I got the 90-degree HDMI adapter. Along with those, I also went and picked up one of these phone stands just because it was a couple bucks. This thing is really neat because the CM5 has the ring already built in, so it makes a real nice stand on my desk. And then I got a screen protector for it because it is touch screen. So let's jump into putting this thing together. All right, so I'll begin by taking off this plastic cover down here. Now we'll start by installing the CM5. I'm going to take off the back plate first with these 4 screws. And now we'll install the CM5 into these 2 sockets here. You can see these 2 pins plug into those 2 sockets, and we're going to do that with the antenna jack in the bottom right, Compute Module 5 upside down at the top. Make sure we get a nice snug plug in there, and then we'll use these 4 standoffs along with this tool to screw them in. All right, next we'll install this pink piece onto the back of the CPU. And now we'll drop the heatsink into place. And we'll screw it all together with 4 of these bolts. And now while we've got it open, I'll go ahead and install the NVMe. And it's going to plug in just like this. And I'll use the screw that it came with to screw it into place. All right, now we can put our back plate back on and screw it all back together. All right, at this point, if we wanted to, we should be able to power it on and boot the Raspbian OS that came pre-flashed on it, but I'm going to install Kali on this one, so let's jump over to the computer. Okay, so I'm just going to start by going to kali.org, and I'm going to click on Get Kali up here. We're going to go to the ARM images, and I'm going to get the 64-bit version of Raspberry Pi 5. And once that's finished downloading, I'm going to use Raspberry Pi Imager. I'm going to do choose device, and I'm going to do Raspberry Pi 5. I'm going to choose the OS and use a custom OS, and I'm going to load up that image we just downloaded, and I'm going to burn it to a fresh new 16 gig micro SD card. All right, now I'll go ahead and remove the micro SD card from the computer and plug it back in, and I'll open up the drive that gets mounted. And we'll go down to the config.txt file, and here we're just going to make a couple changes. So down here in the enable DRM VC4 V3D driver, we're going to comment out both of these lines. And at the bottom here, underneath of all, we're going to say DT overlay equals DWC2, comma, DR underscore mode equals host, and DT overlay equals VC4-KMS DPI hyperpixel 4SQ. And now we'll save that. We'll quit text edit. We'll eject that micro SD card. We'll throw it into the Hackberry and jump back over to the bench. All right, so we'll begin by swapping in the micro SD that we just created. And now we'll flip the power switch to boot it up. All right, so that initial boot takes a little while because the image has to build itself, but you'll eventually land at the login screen. We're going to use the default Kali and Kali. This button is going to be tab, or you can use the mouse to click between the fields. And once we're logged in, we're going to open up a terminal. And our first job is to get the NVMe hard drive running and get it booted off of that. So we're going to do sudo vim/boot/firmware/config.txt. Now I'm going to use J to scroll all the way to the bottom of this file. And I'm going to use L to go all the way to the bottom right. I'm going to hit A to go into insert mode. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to add 2 lines, dtparam equals PCIEX1 and dtparam equals PCIEX1 _ gen 3. And the equal sign is going to be to hold this bottom right button and hit P. And now the back button up here is escape, and we'll do a :WQ. And now we'll do a sudo reboot. And back in terminal again, we'll do an lsblk. And here we'll be able to see NVMe 0N1, this disk here. So now it's recognized. You can see it's 476 gigs. So now we'll do sudo fdisk/dev/NVMe 0N1 and enter. Here we're going to say N, enter, 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 enter. So now we've created a partition, and we're going to hit W for write and hit enter. And now the partition table has been written. So now we'll do sudo mkfs.ext4 /dev/NVMe 0N1P1. And this will format that partition ext4. Now we'll do a sudo mkdir SSD, make a folder called SSD. Now we'll do sudo mount /dev/NVMe 0N1P1 /SSD. Enter. All right, now we've mounted our partition, so we can do a df-h. And here we can see that we've mounted our NVMe. It's 469 gigs at /home/kali/SSD. All right, now to copy our image onto the SSD, I'm going to use PiClone from the Raspberry Pi UI GitHub. And I'm going to do that by wgetting a copy of the GitHub first. So I'll put a link to this down in the description. All right, had a little bit of an internet hookup there, but now I finally got it pulled down. So now we're going to do unzip master.zip. And then we'll cd into PiClone-master. Now we'll sudo apt install git text pkgconfig libgtk3-dev and meson. But first we need to do sudo apt update. All right, now we'll run that command again. All right, now we'll do meson setup build dir. Now we'll cd into build dir. Now we'll run meson compile. Now we'll do sudo meson install. Okay, now if we go up here to the start button. Okay, now we can go to usual applications, and we can go to accessories, and we can launch SD card copier. Unfortunately, my phone cut out while this was formatting, so I missed this part, so I came back to film it after, so this is already copied. But you're going to pick the source as not the NVMe and the destination as the NVMe drive and hit start. All right, at this point, we should be able to shut down the Hackberry. We'll flip the power switch off, and we'll remove the micro SD card. And now we'll power it back on. And we can see a drastically improved boot time and drastically improved response times now that we're booting Kali off of the SSD on the CM5. All right, the last thing I'll show you guys how to do as part of the build is to install VNC, and I do that so that I can access this from a desktop. It just makes it a lot easier when I'm at home. So we're going to open a terminal and do sudo apt install x11vnc. Now I'll type x11vnc. And we'll jump over to the computer. All right, so now over on the Mac, I'm going to use Real VNC Viewer, and I'm just going to type in the IP address of the Hackberry and hit enter. And I'm going to hit continue. And of course, there's no auth on X11VNC, so you're going to have to be careful with that. But here on my home network, now you can see I've got the Hackberry pulled up. And so this is how I prefer to set it all up and get everything all installed and configured and tweaked out before I take the Hackberry mobile. So let's jump back over to the bench and we'll get this thing wrapped up. Okay, because this is a touch screen, the last thing I'm going to do is apply this screen protector. I like to keep my screens nice and stock condition so they don't get scratched up, especially if you're going to be touching them with your fingers. And just like every screen protector kit, comes with a nice sticker that you can use to peel up any gunk. I've already cleaned the screen pretty well, but I'll use the little microfiber cloth. You really want to make sure there's no dust or any fingerprints or anything on the screen before you apply that screen protector. Peel off the back, making sure not to touch it. Set it on here. All right, and we can see I got a little bubble in there, so I'm gonna have to work that one out, but you can see this is a pretty perfect fit for this screen. So at this point, I've shot the entire video with it on the magnetic clip here, and so you can see it just magnets right on. This whole thing articulates. It's a really nice arm to have. Makes it really convenient to set on my desk, VNC into it, be able to see the screen. So at this point, you should have a Hackberry CM5 booting off a 0.5 terabyte NVMe running Kali Linux with VNC so you can access it from another machine. Now it's time to stick this thing in your pocket, get out there and start playing with it. So as always, stay tuned and thanks for watching.